All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get airborne. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It is a glorious day, beautiful day. What a great week for Full Throttle. We've had an absolute blast, long week. These Full Throttles, hundreds and hundreds. I think over 1,000 registered by last time I looked last night. A lot of stuff going on, man. So thanks for coming and checking out our squadron here. We think we got a pretty cool place. Busy day yesterday, man. Got a good night's sleep, but it was a long day. So yoga, my live trade brief with you all in the morning. Spoke at Rotary, the Boca Raton Rotary Club, about 50, 75 business folks from Boca Raton, and I literally blew them away with a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. And then raced on down to the hangar to shoot for a documentary called A Greater Reality. So that was pretty cool. And shameless plug, folks, there's the No Fallen Heroes Foundation fighter jet. And you could potentially have a chance to fly in a real fighter jet. I think I've taken about 5 or 6 TGO members flying right there in my trunk in the back seat. It's for lifetime members only. You got to be physically able to fly in a fighter jet, all those type of things. Actually, one kid, I'm going to be flying kid's wife, his beautiful bride, Linda, shortly here up in, I think it's Sun and Fun. We're going to fly her. So you can actually give it to a family member, so to speak. Yep. JG's in the chat right there. JG flew in the jet. He had a great time. He was a G monster. So shameless plug. If you join our lifetime services down the road, you have the opportunity to fly in a fighter jet. So good stuff. It was a great day, and I appreciate your flexibility. It was a beautiful sunset when we got done shooting, so I had to take a picture of my car, of course, with a business jet in the background that is not mine. Yeah, man, you got 4 Gs. That's exactly right. And then I raced back to be with you all last night to do a little bit of a full throttle training brief. If you didn't get a chance to attend last night, here is the replay at the top of the page here. go.topgunoptions.com/FT replay. So let me give you the link right there, because I know some folks, this is your first brief of the week. No worries, man. Go back and watch what we did this week. If you did attend the briefs this week, you are up about $4,000 this morning. Bear call spread on Amazon. I told you to keep pounding Goldman Sachs into their dirt, and we got long volatility yesterday. If you got long volatility yesterday, when I told you to get long volatility yesterday, you're up 13%. Look at the VIX since we briefed yesterday. We're good. What a great full throttle week. Folks, if you don't, by the end of this brief, if you don't sign up, good luck. We're shutting the doors. But look at that. The VIX is up 13%. There's us in our live trade brief yesterday, 10:30-ish, when I said get long volatility, and boom. I said get long volatility, jumped in my car, and went and did the Lord's work yesterday, and that happened. Exactly what I told you was going to happen this week. I said fail, 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 didn't I? And it's going to be a bigger failure coming. Up to the 200, fail. Up to the 200, fail. Up, nope, fail. Up, keep going? No. Nope. Wasn't going to happen. Told you it wasn't going to happen. And I said we'd pull back to the 100 and maybe even the 50. And we're doing both of those things. Men lie. I don't. You can listen to the replays. And I told you all of this stuff. And I've placed trades accordingly. So nobody else does this, guys and gals. You can go to we have 5 speakers today talking about stuff. And you can sit there and look at all their PowerPoint slides and make an investment with them. Or you could show up here for free for this week and see what we do live. So I do it. Others don't. If I were others, I'd be embarrassed about what they put out as well and try and get your money up front. I don't. So this is it. This is your last free brief. We're going to talk about a subject today that is near and dear to my heart, saving lives, but the vehicle for saving lives might shock some of you. Or if you follow me for a little bit, you know exactly what we're going to talk about today. And it's the only place that I'm bullish, and it's not in this market, it's on life. It's a sector, obviously, and it is exploding. I've put my money where my mouth is. I've put my everything where my mouth is at this point. Why? Because I'm living proof that it works. So we're going to get into that. This is going to be a great brief today, and we're looking good. Jeff, VIX up 13%. My February call spread from yesterday is up 50%. 50% in a day. The Amazon trade that I covered Tuesday is up 78% right now. Men lie, trades don't. Again, folks, I can drag you to water. If you don't want to drink, good luck the rest of the year because it's going to be an absolute shit show. $6,200 yesterday, dogfighting the S&P 500 for 22 grand in 3 trading days. Bob, I've had several investment advisors, quote unquote, over the years. None of them have paid much attention to my account. Much better off following Wiz and learning slowly on my own. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be a shocking comment or not. Nobody, unless you're an idiot, and there's a lot of idiots in the world, nobody cares more about your money than you. And for all my brothers and sisters in the chat box and all my people in my network who are fiduciaries, Wiz, I am a registered investment advisor, and I take offense to that. Fucking Bernie Madoff was a registered investment advisor. If you care more about somebody else's money than they do, they're an idiot. Nobody should care more about your money than you folks. And I proved to you this week that just a poor kid from South Jersey, political science major, knuckle-dragging fighter pilot, if I can do it, anybody can do it. This ain't rocket surgery. It ain't hard. And I'm going to teach you. I'm going to train you. Robert was one of my booger eaters who kept track of all of my trades when we opened the investment clubs. I started the Max Afterburner and the Hunters as a result of COVID because I'd get done a live trade brief and my email box would blow up like, dude, what are you doing after hours? What? Okay, dear attorneys, how can I do this? Open an investment club. Done. Since I opened the investment club, and this was back in October, he sent me this, or he posted it for everybody to see. If you had joined the investment club on day one, and it was in May of 2020, and executed everything that, as I posted them, you would have placed 1,170 trades for $791,000 in profits in 17 months. Obviously, commission's not included, and not everybody probably took all of those trades. That's on you, man. That I was flying and fighting my own airplane. $791,000 in profitable trades. I dare you to show me somebody who did better. That's not ego talking, that's fact. Started with Wiz over 4 years ago and have made over $450,000 in that time. Haven't said it in a while, but thanks, Wiz. And then Tony just sent me an updated one in the chat box, which I can show you. Wiz, I just joined 12 days ago, and with a small account, I'm already up $6 grand. So proud to have joined your squadron. Christine, I took $2 grand and made it 60 in 3 weeks on one contract. She was talking about Amazon. That was a solo Amazon trade. Mark, see you at 10. Very happy to be here. Thank you for your honesty. I will not always agree with you. I love that. But never for one moment do I doubt your sincerity or love of our great country and deep desire to see your clients kick ass. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you last night, it's a horrific business model, but I really don't give a shit. I got mine. I'm putting the ladder down. I want you to leave. The businessman in me wants you to stay here for the next 60 years. I ain't going to be here, folks. Learn and leave. Wiz, I'm good, man. I'm trained. I'm going back to the fleet. I'll mail you a Topgun Options patch, man. That's how Top Gun works. You don't go to Top Gun forever. You went there, you got trained, you went back out to the fleet. It's the reverse business model of everybody else in this space. Why? Because I know once you get that patch, once you're trained, you're going to go out and spread the word. You will be that dude or lady at a cocktail party like, oh, the market's imploding. I'm printing money. What? That can be you. That's what we do. How's the smart money doing for the past couple years, folks? I love this stuff. This is from Barclays. Let's take a look at how the smart money's doing. -5, 10, 11, 10, -7. I didn't get December's yet. That's the smart money. Can you believe that? In 2022, we destroyed it. Our primary accelerated retirement and weekly options crushed it. Got all the trades in Excel sheets, confirmations from the E-Trade platform. I told you we are the smart money. I've seen the smart money, and a lot of them are kind of stupid. Love watching these limousine liberals in Davos. Let's all meet, all of us elite and billionaires in Davos on our private jets to yell at people about capitalism and global climate change. Like Al Gore and John Kerry couldn't have shared a jet. These people are a disgrace. I'm ranting about this because almost 3 years ago to the day, I said what? When Donald Trump lied to us and Ray Dalio lied to us. Cash is trash. If you're in cash right now, you're an idiot. I'm like, he's an idiot. Get out of the market. Or actually stay in the market. Get bullish on volatility. Get bearish on the market. We made millionaires. United States senators got similar briefs. I didn't get that brief. I talked to my best friend, one of my best friends. They left a classified briefing and did what? They called their family and friends and said, don't tell anybody, but get out. What did I do? I told everybody. I told the world. And if you listen to me, you're filthy rich. If you didn't listen to me, that's on you. Folks, losing trades happen. My objective is to win the war. Thankfully, didn't have a losing trade this week. There are full throttle weeks where I'm like, holy shit. Slim to none, but they happen. But I'm not going to sit here and be one of these marketers that says, we had never had a losing trade, like Lenny Dykstra at TheStreet.com. What an absolute filthy person and a liar. A fool and their money are soon parted. There are unknown unknowns. Ladies and gentlemen, as a fighter pilot, my job as an options trader is to do what? Minimize all known risk. Trading's a little bit risky, and so's flying a fighter jet as it is, so why don't you minimize all the known risks that you can? That's a Rumsfeld, man. There are unknown unknowns. So losing trades happen. I'm here to tell you that they happen. Got it? John, you don't go to Topgun forever to trade because you learn world truths. Exactly. It's so funny, man. People are like, dude, I come for, I know what I'm doing now. Thanks for the training, but I need the intel. I love the camaraderie. I love the commentary, blah, blah, blah. Folks, if you'd started with me 10 years ago, now obviously 2020, our COVID crash, I hope I'm never that good again, because if I'm that good again, it's a horror. Again, Gordon Gekko, I love when things are horrible. Wiz, it breaks my heart. Thank God I live in the free state of Florida. We kind of freaked out for 2 weeks in COVID, and then we're like, yeah, okay, we're done. So that year obviously it juiced my returns, but I'm not going to coast on that. I'm present. I'm present this week. I showed you profitable trades, and you're in them, and I already made you money. But if you started with us 12 years ago, nearly, Steve Austin, you're nearly the $6 million man. That's how old I am. I grew up watching the Bionic Man and the Bionic Woman. But with inflation, and let's go, Brandon, I guess in today's dollars, it would be the $6 billion man. Woo. So, folks, and I was talking to Bonnie, I think her name was, the other night. I can't tell you what to start with. I'm not a registered investment advisor. I'm not a broker dealer. I don't play one on TV. You can start with $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $1 million, $1 billion. I'm flying and fighting my own airplane. You're walking on the floor of the SIBO and you're getting eavesdrop on what I'm doing. And I'm looking over my shoulder every once in a while and telling you what I'm doing and then teaching you how to do it. But at the end of the day, you're the pilot in command of your own portfolio. But you don't need a shit pot of money to start, folks. What would you do with nearly $6 million? I mean, just sit there and think about that. 12 years, nearly $6 billion. I know what I'm doing, and you're going to hear about it today. I'm throwing don't get me wrong, I like having a nice house and my fast Porsche, That's about it. I'm throwing just about everything I can over the fence into our nonprofit. There is no higher purpose in life, no higher calling than helping your fellow woman, helping your fellow man, and putting the ladder down. I don't know how I lived for the majority of my life, not being I think I was a decent person. You know what I'm getting at. Now that I kind of have seen the light, so to speak, this ain't going to get all preachy, but I know what I'm doing with my money. But what would you do with your money? There you go, Charles. Start a foundation for the handicapped. Good for you, Charles. God bless you, man. I love you, my brother. Go Eagles. Go Birds. So, folks, and I have a couple other vices. I own 2 fighter jets. As a result of the COVID crash, I bought 2 fighter jets that you have the opportunity to fly in. Lifetime members. These things ain't cheap to operate per hour, but guess what? If you become a lifetime member someday down the road, you can go flying. So, folks, let's get started with the brief. But let me wrap up the marketing part. Again, I hate selling anything because I believe it should sell itself. If you have seen these 3 briefs, you've seen me place profitable trades live, and you're not like there, then this ain't going to help you. But let me check the box, get this done, and then we can get airborne. What do you need to trade successfully? Training. The people that jump in these briefs and go, I don't want to hear your politics. Where are the trades? I usually throw them out. I always throw them out because I know even if they join, they're going to be a pain in the ass. The customer is not always right. That's my motto. So you need solid training. I didn't say edumacation. I said training. That takes a building block approach. You need a plan. Trading is a form of combat. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to get their ass handed to them. Which one do you want to be? When I went to Wall Street, folks, with this is kind of how I trade options and invest because I'm a fighter pilot and I have the strategy, tactics, managing risk, and people are like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I'm like, wait a minute. You run a multi-billion-dollar trading firm and you don't do it like this? Folks, when I ran around in Chicago, people were making money in spite of themselves. So you need a tight plan, which I'm going to give it to you, and a practical application. You need to be able to say, I'm trained, I got my trade plan, now let's put it into action. That's what these live trade briefs are for. Demo do. In the 8 full throttle briefs, I'm going to train you, and then we get into live trade briefs, and we do. That's what we do in the military. I'll demonstrate, you do. Demo, do. That's a pretty bold statement, Wiz, assuming that I know you know what I need to be successful trading. Duh, I've been you. Folks, I'm going to age myself. Before Al Gore invented the internet in the early 90s, I was riding my bicycle from base housing at Naval Air Station Lemoore to the base library to check out books on options trading. Books. I built Topgun Options. I take the Tim Cook approach here. With Apple, he did what? He's like, we build cool shit that we like. If others like it, yay. If not, yay. So I built this for me. If I had this shit back in the day, folks, I rose from being a young lieutenant, self-taught retail trader to managing director of strategy at a $2.5 billion Wall Street firm. Literally Eddie Murphy Valentine in Trading Places. Literally, I've been there, folks. CEO of a financial media company. So here's what you're going to get today, and we're closing the doors after this brief. I think before I jumped on the air, there was 19 slots left. You don't grab one, we're done. Access to live trading. It's valued at $6,000, but I'm going to tell you what you get it for today. You were in the primary live trade brief on Tuesday. I showed you the Goldman Sachs trade that I opened on Friday, closed on Tuesday for $3,300, $5,000 in risk. Showed you a sniper shot I took Friday for a couple hours, $2,000. Showed you a bear call spread on Amazon that's up $2,000 right now. Told you to keep pounding Goldman Sachs into the dirt. I should have placed a trade at that moment, but I was busy in this stuff. Others did, and they're making money. Weekly options. Yesterday we did what? I said get long volatility. Ended the brief, got in my car, went to Rotary, the market imploded, and the VIX popped. Today, you're in AR, accelerated retirement. I'm going to show that these should be longer dated trades. And you're going to learn today the only place I am bullish on longer dated trades. Everything else, folks, is going to be a tack. This is going to be another copy paste 2022 to 2023. It's very hard to pick up the binoculars and look down range and go, I'm bullish. I mean, look at tech still getting destroyed. If we're not at the bottom with tech, we're close. Like somebody asked me the other day with Tesla, I'm like, soon. Do the Braveheart hold, and then I'll say now. And it ain't now. It can be now for you. It ain't now for me. There's still more pain to come in this market. So if you do the annual or the monthly Hunters, you get access to the Hunters SDIS, Self-Directed Investment Squadron. The SEC calls them self-directed investment clubs. We're not a club. We're a squadron. So you get in here, man. It's a great chat throughout the day. I'm placing my trades in there, my intel. It's a good gateway drug to lifetime down the road. Okay. 80% of our members work. You don't have to be here live. I'll show you today. I'll send out a text and email alert. Everything's recorded and put on the replay page. Make sure you get here early. I usually open the room 15 minutes prior so I can kind of show you what I'm doing before I get airborne. I started that as a result of COVID. People are like, dude, can you do it earlier or open? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then that's where the investment clubs came from, right? This guy had been with me for 3 years and attended his first live trade brief out of the blue. Hey, man, I'm really psyched. I'm here live. I've only known you from the replays. You get text alerts. You get email alerts, folks. And here's Bonnie to answer your question this quarter. So you currently right now, as soon as you become a member, you get access to 8 of the training sessions, man. They're almost $1,000. I'm going to bundle this all together for a great deal. And we take a building block approach, folks. If you have no idea what the hell an option is or the stock market, welcome aboard. I'm going to teach you. If you kind of know what's going on, welcome aboard. I'll teach you. If you think you're fantastic, I'm going to make you better. So you get training. What did I tell you? You need practical applications, training, right? And a tight plan. You're getting all of this today. Access to the live trade briefs and the investment club if you do the annual or the monthly Hunters. 8 training sessions, 3 skill-based manuals, the primary, intermediate, and advanced workbooks, your trade plan, your OPCL, the text, and the email alerts, folks. It does not get any better than this. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT, stands for Full Throttle Hunters. Let me just drop that link in the chat box so you can get it now. Again, 19, before I jumped on the air, there was 19. And if history serves me right, we'll probably fill up those 19 in this brief today. Only 50. I don't like a zoo. You can go somewhere else and pay less money and be cattle, not get your questions answered, not have one-on-one attention. Knock yourself out. Not me. I can't stand as an instructor not being able to answer everybody's questions, help out, all that type of stuff. So 50 slots because we are a closed, tight-knit squadron. So go.topgunoptions.com/FT-Hunters. This is a 50% discount. The annual Full Throttle membership, when you value stack everything, is just under $6,000. $29.95, ladies and gentlemen. Trading, combat, they're both complex. How do we battle complexity? Simplicity. I make things easy. You can go be a member at I do reverse calendar butterfly splits with a volatility arbitrage up the middle, hey diddle diddle. Some people like to talk and sound super smart. I love showing up at briefs kind of as a secret shopper and laugh at how they try and make things cosmic. The confused mind says no. I'm an idiot, man, on many levels. I will make this simple. I will turn complexity into simplicity. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what you're going to get, and then we're going to do our live trade brief. I'm done selling shit. Superior training, risk management, and discipline, plus practical applications, folks. It's easy to follow. There's work involved. You're not going to sit on the dock and I'm going to throw fish in your mouth. I'm going to show you how to fish. and you're going to eat. But there's going to be some work to do. So you're at decision range, man. If you're at this point and you're still like, I don't know, then it's probably time to leave. You need to act now. Is what I'm getting at. At the end of this brief, I'm shutting the doors, and we're getting airborne with or with you. Gary, will you post the link for Solo Amazon? I will. Absolutely. Just focusing a little bit on Full Throttle right now. Wiz, I've had many other subscriptions. Raging Bull, Money Matt Press, Tim Sykes, Jack Clark, many others. None of them worked as hard as you, and none delivered results like you. I wish I had known about you years ago. Look forward to the future. Folks, I love getting these, or I don't love getting these. The ones that break my heart are, dude, I wasted 20 grand over here or 10 grand here. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a home. It sucks that sometimes on the island of last resort, people are like, dude, I've been wandering around this financial training desert for years and I finally found you. If that ain't you, do it now. Or I'm telling you, there's shit out there, folks. It sucks. I promise you, I see it. Top of the line, I've been with TGO for almost 4 months now, and while I'm still green, I can say I wholeheartedly, this group is second to none. He brings decades of options and trading experience to the table. Couple that with no BS approach, in-depth training, and amazing support, you get a solid recipe for success. As Wiz says, trading is like combat. There's a winner and a loser, and I need to be a winner. If you got a small account, look at Larry. Small account alert, 8 grand in the past 2 weeks trading smaller contracts. Folks should feel good when they're doing well. Don't worry about everybody else, 30 grand, 50, 100 in the same time frame. If you're having success, go with it. As the account grows, so will your ability to scale. I love that. Larry started with a small account here, and he's crushing it. And here's some of the better stuff. You have literally saved my portfolio from blowing out completely. Not only can I, so here's a duh moment. You can't make money if you're losing money. Well, that was brilliant. No, think about that. A lot of people are like, no, I want to make money. That's wrong. Step one of investing, step one of trading is, what's step one of trading and investing? Don't lose money. If your number one is to make money, you're going to suck. I guarantee it. Step one is to preserve capital, is to manage risk. Step 9, make money. So I actually help people from their portfolios getting destroyed, which makes me happy. I'm a lifetime member now and look forward to your many years of learning and investing with you. Okay, guys, how long was that? Long enough. Now we're gonna get into what we need to be doing here. Okay. Again, there's the link. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT-Hunters. My phone just buzzed a couple times, so that's at least 2 people. So you got 17 slots left. We will close the doors today. I will do, let me give you there's the replay page. This is a full throttle brief, but there are people emailing support like, hey, man, can I do the Solo Amazon? Of course you can. TopgunOptions.com, Solo Amazon monthly. Hold on. HTTP. Yes. Let me give this to you so people can. There we go. All right. So $97 a month, folks. I'm going out to dinner tonight, and I guarantee you, if I were drinking, a round of drinks would be down here in South Florida a hell of a lot more net. So $97 a month. This is not Full Throttle. Solo Amazon is every Monday at 10 a.m. Different stuff. So there it is. Graham, I've been around Top Gun for about 10 years, and I trade from Australia. Get into the group. Thank you, Graham. I appreciate that. Here's the annual. You get a 20% discount if you want to do Solo Amazon annual. HTTPS. Top Gun Options. Solo annual. Nope. Solo annual. All right. So here, ladies and gentlemen, is the annual membership for Solo. $897. 20% discount. So you ready for this, folks? In one trade this week in Amazon, I paid for 2 years of your membership. Go and show me another service that actually shows you what they're doing and can pay for your and I did. Not like I might be able to. I did this week. Right now, the Amazon trade that we placed Tuesday is up 81%, $1,700. It's going to close tomorrow, most likely, or we're going to close it today for $2,150, whatever. 2 years, 2 years and 3 months of solo Amazon membership paid for in 2 days. Again, folks, I'm kind of done talking about it. If you can't kind of look at that and go, holy shit, that's a no-brainer, I don't want you as a TGO member because it shows you don't have critical thinking skills, and I actually mean that from a place of love, not a poke. No other place out there lets you show up for a week free, shows you that I paid for your membership for 2 years. And if you can't join after that point, please don't join. Those people end up being the biggest pains in the ass. Okay, we're done. Now we get airborne. What else is going on? Oh, it was cool yesterday because the folks that reached out to, they heard my podcast when I dropped a bomb. We're almost at 20,000 downloads, man. This blows me away, folks. We are in you ready for this? The Max Afterburner Podcast is in the top 2.5% of podcasts on the effing planet. On this big spaceship, well, Wiz, how many podcasts are there in the world? 3 million. So, folks, if you're, please subscribe to there's some good stuff, man. There's some life-saving stuff going on. And this one, got people's attention because it pissed some people off. And if you get upset at something, man, that's ego, right? You shouldn't. Let me just give you this one in case you haven't listened to it yet. I'm convinced we're absolutely alone in the universe. That's dumb. Okay, sorry. That's on you. If you actually look at the math statistically, I love the people that go, statistically, it's impossible. It's intelligent life everywhere. No. You're absolutely wrong. And I can say that because if you do look at the math and statistics, the probability of abiogenesis, me sitting on a live trade brief, going from single cell amoeba over hundreds of millions of years to sitting on a live trade brief is 1 in septillion. Now, you can listen to the podcast. Trust me, folks, I went from 52 years of their freaking UFOs and Captain Kirk and their shit everywhere to we're it. And that's beautiful. That's not lonely. Because before I was like, well, if the universe is infinite, I'm infinite. There's infinite whizzes on Infinite Podcast, which is probably the definition of hell. So actually having this experience and seeing that God created us and we actually are special, and that holding open the door for somebody or saying thank you or being nice to people has an incredible ripple effect. All right. Having said all that, let's knock out a quick strategic brief because in 24 hours, shit's changing. You see what's going on overseas? Oh, well, let's start with this first. Top secret, classified, confidential, secret documents found in 3 different Joe Biden locations. 3 different locations. Not Mar-a-Lago, protected by Secret Service agents. I've been to Mar-a-Lago. Ain't no crackhead son living there. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, which raided Mar-a-Lago, 30 agents, passed. Hey, we found this shit in 3 different locations. We're good. If you're a partisan and you have no problem with that, you're what's wrong with this fucking country. Period. If you delete the word Biden and put in the word Trump and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they did. You are what's wrong with this country. FBI raid on a former president. Joe Biden, vice president, not even the president, vice president, years he's had this shit. The FBI, If that doesn't terrify you, if they're doing that to a former president, not that he's more important, but my point being is, what chance do you have as a lowly taxpayer in this country? This is devastating for our country, period. This is why my son's sitting out there studying. I'm not going to be loud. I don't want him to fucking put on a uniform for this country. It sucks. And that break after 19, when you lose a guy like me, 16 memorial services and 15 years of flying fighters, when you lose me, we're in trouble. This crackhead lived in that house while raking in millions of dollars through Chinese intelligence ties. You got a shitload of classified material, not only in the garage, but in the house, while Hunter Biden's working with Chinese companies. Delete the word Biden, insert the word Trump. There's impeachments, there's raids, there's indictments. Ladies and gentlemen, this is insanity. God is in charge of everything, whether it's a lightning strike against the George Floyd memorial or something like this. The lights are going to come on in the kitchen and we're going to see where the roaches are. Why am I ranting about this? It impacts the markets. This dude gets impeached. This guy gets convicted. All sort. This is volatility. This is uncertainty. Y'all want Kamala? How about we impeach Joe? Can we say that, right? Donald Trump got impeached for a phone call. He called Zelensky and said, dude, before we give you some aid, you need to clean your shit up. You need to do some investigations. I'm not throwing our tax money at a corrupt country. How dare he do that? What? How dare he do that? Again, you've lost me. When you've lost me in this country, I care about my family and I care about you all. And I care about veterans. Everybody else can suck it. New York, New Jersey, my home, California, whatever you vote for, I hope it happens to you. So, in 24 hours, what has happened? 700,000 troops are readying for a massive offensive into Ukraine, coming from Belarus as well. I called this on day one. I said this eventually will be a two-front war. This is that's a quick part of this brief. This is going to get worse. The Wall Street Journal today, ladies and gentlemen, I live for the Wall Street Journal. I eat, breathe, sleep it. And they've lost me on several issues. Immigration, kind of like a Nancy Pelosi. Well, who's going to pick the lettuce? We need immigrants, illegal immigrants. Could you imagine a Republican saying that? Nancy Pelosi, after her fifth scotch for the day, said the quiet part out loud. No, we need these people beneath us to do jobs that are beneath us. What? Anyway, so the Wall Street Journal is one of those. We need cheap labor. It's gross. And they're losing me on Ukraine. I want to dig into this real quick. NATO's reluctance to provide battle tanks reveals our ambivalence about helping Kyiv emerge victorious. Our ambivalence. 100 from the United States, not other NATO deadbeats. $100 billion is ambivalence to the Wall Street Journal. Do you know how many veterans' lives could be saved with $100 billion? I'm begging, kicking, and screaming, trying to get donations to save veterans' lives. $100 billion for a war on the other side of the planet. 50,000 approximately homeless veterans on our streets. And instead of cleaning them up and giving them a place to leave and a shave and making them 50,000 out of the 87,000 new IRS employees are going to be homeless veterans? Nope. Don't ask me. I have bad ideas. But ladies and gentlemen, Western governments are applauding themselves for helping Ukraine resist Russian invasion. And some credit is certainly due. But the war's first anniversary looms, so does a moment of decision. Will the U.S. and Europe let the war grind on as a brutal stalemate, or will they provide enough military aid so it can take back its territory and win the war? Listen to me, folks. This is a big deal. I'm telling you, this is coming to a head in 2023. Listen to me. You think the VIX at 21 is pleasant? How about 50? That's the strategic choice. Unspoken, but publicly looming. They're all meeting at Ramstein tomorrow. Lloyd Austin, who's a hedge fund, 4-star Obama quota general, who ran a defense hedge fund and was on the board of Raytheon. Oh, that's weird. And then General Milley, who I'm sure when General Milley retires, do you think he's going to go play golf? Or do you think he's going to go work at Raytheon or Boeing? Or Their decisions will set the terms of war for the Ukrainian side for the rest of winter and beyond. You ready? Ukrainians have put up a heroic fight and we're taking some territory. But the bitter truth is that Vladimir Putin shows no signs of letting up despite his humiliating setbacks. Mr. Putin is venting his frustration by lobbing missiles at apartment buildings, with one killing 40 people. How dare you do this, the Wall Street Journal? I get an opinion piece. As soon as that happened, the Russians were like, they checked real quick. They're like, was that? No. Okay, good. That wasn't us. Ukrainian chief of staff dude. We're sorry to report that was one of our own missiles that went down and hit that building. You're fired. Oh, sorry. So the Wall Street Journal now reporting as fact. Right? So, including children this week. American Patriot missiles are still weeks from arriving in Ukrainian. Okay. And they're training in Oklahoma, Ukrainian troops. Russia's gearing up for another offensive. They're preparing to conduct a decisive strategic action in the next 6 months. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not going to be here at TGO, good luck. In the next 6 months, what are we going to have? A debt ceiling fight. In the next 6 months, we're going to have a brutal fight. We have a debt ceiling war and we have an actual war. Do you know what you're doing? If you do, good luck. Mr. Putin's going to double his forces. He's got 1.35 right now. He's going to add another 1.5. He's reviving their ability to produce weapons, and he's calling on every dictator in his Rolodex for arms. North Korea, Iran, China. Russian casualties are of no consequence to him. He thinks as the war drags on, he's going to outlast. We're going to have Ukraine fatigue. That may prove to be right if Ukraine can't build on the gains of 2022 and retake its territory. Ukrainians clearly have the will to keep fighting, but they need more and better arms from the West, as opposed to what we've provided so far. Ladies and gentlemen, we briefed this yesterday. An emerging fiasco. So the UK said it's going to give tanks, but only 14. You're welcome. And Germany's like, you know what? We're not going to let people send our Leopard tanks unless you send Abrams first. Wow. Whoa. So Leopards are excellent tanks with some 2,000 in the NATO cupboards, but the Ukrainians need at least 100 to make a dent on the battlefield. And the priority should be to giving them these tanks and at scale. You ready for this, folks? The Marines recently got rid of all of their tank battalions. And these would be an excellent place to send them. So let's pause for that moment because the Wall Street Journal missed this. Why did the Marine Corps get rid of its tank battalions? So we're downsizing our military. Oh, and geez, what an opportune moment to just send all those to Ukraine. Are you insane? Yet the Biden administration is leaking that it's not going to include tanks. Will they offer the Army Tactical Missile System? Blah, blah, blah. You ready, folks? Let's summarize. This reluctance is a profile in puzzling timidity. The White House fears apparently that the war will escalate if Mr. Putin continues to lose ground. The Russian is capable of anything. Thank you, Wall Street Journal. But there is no moral or strategic case for giving Ukraine just enough weapons to bleed for months without no chance of victory. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been saying this since day one. You cannot be half pregnant in war. War, if it needs to happen, the last resort. My God, let's try everything. If it needs to happen, should be fucking violent and brutal and quick. I told you from day one, we're a bunch of cowards. We're cowards. Cowards fight proxy wars. Our children are more important than Ukrainian and Russian children. Oh, I thought America wasn't exceptional. Now you're saying we are. Which one is it, Barack Obama supporters? This country ain't that special. Actually, we are. We don't want to risk any of our kids. Oh, which one is it? Which lane of crazy? You ready? We're almost done. The stronger case is to help Ukraine win rapidly. We're a year into this. What's your definition of rapidly, Wall Street Journal? Whew. The U.S. has said Ukrainian strikes on Russian territory are off limits, even though they're doing that. And the practical effect has been to let Moscow concentrate forces on eastern Ukraine without having to defend its own depots and bases. Didn't they just blow one up last week, 2 weeks ago, and kill 600 Russian soldiers? The rejoinder is that Mr. Putin might unleash a nuclear weapon. Oh, but the past months have shown that he will make that decision based on his own calculations in any case. Fucking duh. He's always had that. But the more, guys, again, VIX at 20 is pleasant right now. Breaking news, suspected nuclear weapon used in Ukraine. You tell me what the VIX is going to do and the S&P 500 is going to do. I listen to people. When Vladimir Putin, his foreign minister, his defense secretary, and their state media go, we don't know, is this thing on? Let me say it again more clearly. If we really, really, really get backed into a corner, we absolutely will use nuclear weapons. I was the adversary officer in my fighter squadron, folks. I read all their shit. You know what our nuclear posture is? Nobody's crazy enough to use a nuke because it's mad. Mutually assured destruction. Do you know what the Soviet books say? I've read them. We absolutely can win a nuclear war. What? So, folks, if I'm sitting in a room with our heavies red teaming, like, do you read this isn't them necessarily bluffing. We always assume they're bluffing. I weep for this. A long and ugly stalemate in Ukraine would put Russia in a position to menace this blah, blah, blah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're done with this part of the brief. But reading this stuff, it's going to get worse. Exactly, David. Yeah, exactly, Mike. If we only had $100 billion worth of equipment that we left in Afghanistan. Unbelievable. So here we go. Let's get operational. Why'd the market implode today at the opening? Let's use our thinking brains. Ladies and gentlemen, did you see the weekly jobs number? 190,000. So it was 205 last week. They were forecasting 214. Wait, hold on, Wiz. That's good. The weekly jobless claims number went down. No, it isn't. Welcome to Topgun Options. That's bad. Jerome Powell, the Fed, wants to see that number what? Going up. What? Welcome to Topgun Options. As soon as I saw that number pre-market, there go the futures. I'm like, yep. Ladies and gentlemen, you have got to be here if you don't know what's going on. Good news in this market, good economic news is bad news. With a healthy job market, Jerome Powell sits there and goes, well, we're going to keep cranking. We need to see absolute horror in the job market. Now, we briefed the other day that Microsoft clipping another 10 grand. I mean, it's coming. Q3 earnings, folks, almost from Amazon, the Death Star laying off people. Goldman Sachs cutting thousands, folks. So it's coming. If you notice the subtle shift from Jean-Claude Van Damme and Joe Biden, they ain't running out to the microphone too often anymore to go, hey, the jobs market is awesome. You keep saying that publicly, Joe and Jean-Claude, and Joe and Jerome Powell has nothing left to do but keep cranking. The market is not the economy. Okay. So that's why we had this kind of open and a gap down, which is really, really interesting. Okay. Treasury today, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next war. Today, war was declared in the United States. Not the insurrection, which was worse than 9/11 and Pearl Harbor combined. Treasury to begin extraordinary measures to pay our bills amid the debt ceiling debate. Here it comes. It started today. Maneuvers give Congress about 5 months to pass legislation raising or suspending the debt limit. This is going to be beautiful. I can't wait for this. Again, as an American, it's nails on a chalkboard. As Gordon Gekko and a trader, I love it. As Gordon Gekko, I want to be on both sides. Those Republicans are awful. Do this. Yeah, good idea. Those Democrats are awful. I love this. This is an Axe Capital moment. We want this at Topgun Options. Here we go again. It's time for another debt ceiling fight. And I love it. We are going to print money this year, folks, on this. I hate saying this, and I'm going to. I guarantee you. Unless we're in really bizarre world where we're about to have a government shutdown and the VIX goes down. No, that ain't going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, No. You ready for this? When we default on our debt, oh my God, that's a prediction. You can take it to the bank. McCarthy, whether it's for an hour, a couple days, or what was the John Boehner one? Like 3 days or 4 days? I think we get a shutdown. The bond market will explode. And a lot of firms, ladies and gentlemen, that we only invest in AAA bonds and backed by the full faith and credit of when there's when there's a hurricane in that market, the VIX will go through the roof. It's math. It's physics. It's a fact. This ain't hard, guys. People will be on CNBC and like, well, we're taking advantage of this by, a reverse hedge volatility. I'm a basic dude. Get long VIX, and then we're going to short it when McCarthy caves. That's going to happen. Either the government's going to shut down or get pretty damn close, and then they're going to get a deal. Volatility is going to spike. Volatility is going to go down. I could say that on CNBC, and they better put legendary investor underneath my name. Is that what it takes to be a legendary investor? But folks, this is going to be awesome. Ryan, this is great. This is just like when Paul Ryan or John Boehner were Speakers of the House under Obama. You nailed it. I love this. I absolutely loved this because I love them winning the House by a little bit. That night, folks, election night, when I got wrong, I'm like, I don't want them to win the House now. People are like, oh, my God, what are you doing? I'm like, no. Now the Republicans are going to get blamed for everything. The do-nothing Republicans in Congress are stopping my agenda. Yeah, you think? So, folks, this is a no-brainer. We're going to print money. We covered this week buyer cancellation rates above 2008 levels. At the height of the financial crisis, the housing crisis in 2008, when I was living in Naperville, cancellation rate peaked at 47%. Where are we right now? 68. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that's insanity. You can't swing a dead cat in South Florida without hitting a realtor, and they are all freaking out. Okay. We talked about Microsoft laying off people. Retail sales tumbled in December. Another reason Amazon's going down. I talked about this yesterday. The Unilever CEO is right. This is right. I don't care that inflation peaked and it's coming in. People are burning to death from inflation. And businesses, ladies and gentlemen, unlike mine, who I should have raised our prices, but I didn't, businesses keep prices up. It's mental. Do you think the CEO of Chipotle looked at the inflation numbers coming in a little bit and going, you know what, let's lower the price of avocados and everything after we hiked it for the past 2 years? That's not going to happen. Inflation, you ever hear this term? Inflation is sticky. It's a sticky booger, and it's not going anywhere. It's burning people alive. So we're going to have a horrible war continue in Europe, and we're going to have a war for the debt ceiling in the United States. Volatility a coming, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Wow, I went way long, but we need to keep going. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer one because I need to talk about what I wanted to talk about today. Here's the first thing we're going to do. And look at the S&P, just 3850, folks. Down to the 100-day. I said this Tuesday. We're probably going to pull back to the 50 and maybe even the 100. I love this. Is everybody happy? Especially if you're new here. Are you happy making $1,700? What are the VIX calls doing right now? We looked at the VIX, the 25s at 83 cents. Holy shit, you're up. What's that? 30? You made 30% on those long VIX calls from yesterday. You're welcome. And those are going to keep climbing. Everybody happy? Is everybody good? I mean, I love this stuff. All right. Now, because I want to have a cup of coffee, here's what we're going to do. I want you to sit there, all 200 of you, and you're going to turn your speakers up. You're going to turn off your TV, and you're going to watch. Okay? Turn your speakers up and focus. Is it too late to get into the VIX trade? It's never too late to get into a VIX trade if you believe what? There's more of a shit show coming. So Barry, let me do this first, then we can reattack that. All right? So let me do this. Everybody, turn up your speakers and watch this. All right. So that's it right there, man. The only sector on the face of the planet that I am bullish on is the life-saving space, the psychedelic space. I did a journey with Marcus Luttrell, the lone survivor, Jared Taylor from Black Rifle Coffee in May of 2021. Saved my life, changed my life. This is coming. The psychedelic space is what they say, $51 billion space in 2023. I'm fairly certain. I think MAPS announced the other day that MDMA will they're shooting for this year, 2023, to get it reclassified, descheduled. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next. You want to know what's the next big hot stock tip or anything like this? This is it. The definition of a Schedule 1 drug is high, probability for addiction and no therapeutic use. You know what that literally is the definition of? A cigarette. Nicotine is horribly addictive and it'll kill you. Zero therapeutic use. Ibogaine, ayahuasca, psilocybin, it actually works less the more you do, because God's a pretty smart chemist. No. You can't the more you do with this stuff, it's not going to work. Wow. And it has absolute therapeutic use. 52 years of trauma, ego, shame, regret, depression, drugs, alcohol, gone. It was not fun. It wasn't pleasant, but it was needed. Former Governor Rick Perry from Texas, former presidential candidate, folks. This is here. You're not stopping it. Big Pharma speaks with forked tongue. For years, they've badmouthed all of this, and I see them all in the space now trying to capitalize. And God's a smart chemist. You can't patent a root. You can't trademark a toad. Now they're going to try and put a moat around it because this is terrifying to Big Pharma. You're telling me Marcus Luttrell was on 10 meds every day at the VA, 3 to wake up, 4 for lunch, 3 for bed? Yeah. And he takes none of them now? Yep. After one treatment? Yep. You give that brief to the CEO of Pfizer, I think he'd disintegrate. This is where you put your money. This is where I'm putting my money. I am putting my money in my foundation. I'm investing in this space. But you know what, John? So John, I appreciate that comment, my brother. John said, you should probably say you rediscovered God, not found God. I say that in other interviews. John, that was just that moment when they recorded that moment. I tell people repeatedly, I absolutely lost my faith as a young man when my sister was killed by a drunk driver, destroyed my family. What type of loving God kills my sister and destroys my family? So I lost my faith. As a result of this healing, I absolutely rediscovered God. God never left. God told me on the medicine, Matthew, I have always been and I will always be. And I felt it. So, and I remember kind of doing the whole, I'll share a link. I kind of remember doing the whole, wow, you're God. Where you been? And God very gently looked at me and said, I've been here. Where did you go, my son? Forgiveness. Forgiveness is a foreign concept in heaven. There's no need for it. Forgiveness is a human construct. There's no such thing as forgiveness. You are forgiven. God does not make imperfect things. Sorry, got off on a tangent. Let's get back to making money. I mean, literally, folks, I have, so let's always disclose whenever there's potential conflicts of interest. What's a conflict of interest? Well, I run a charitable foundation that tries to save people's lives. That's not a conflict. Exactly. This isn't a conflict either. I'm just disclosing it. I am an investor now. I have 200,000 shares in Healing REIT. It's a real estate investment trust. We are opening 10, excuse me, 10 like retreat centers around where? VA hospitals. We're at the dawn of a new era, folks. I'm briefing you on this, first of all, to show you that I'm putting my money where my mouth is, but second of all, to show you disclosure. But, you know, and we're going to talk about what we all can invest in publicly and stuff like that. So, I get it, Chris. Trust me. God never left you. He gives us all free choice. The guy who hit your sister did it, but it wasn't God's fault. Absolutely, Chris. I'm just telling you, when you're a freshman in high school and this happens to you, when you were an altar boy, an Irish Catholic, you went to Catholic schools, you were taught all this stuff, and for that to happen, dude, when you're a young man, I don't care who you are, you're not wise and sage enough at that age to go, yeah. At the end of my first medicine journey, I went into the medicine with 5 questions for the medicine and also 5 intentions, right? This is a combat mission. When I'm going to Costa Rica in a couple weeks, Erin's going to Costa Rica in a couple weeks with us. She was an F-15E Strike Eagle pilot, incredibly brave woman, stepping into the medicine with us. It's a combat hop, man. But everything was answered about my past, my present. I saw my future. I'm living my future. But at the end, there was one last thing. And I looked at God and I said, hey, man, you know, this is all great. Awesome. Obviously, thank you. But there's this last question. I said, why Monica? And why so young? Why? And God very gently held me, and God said, I know. And that's all I needed to hear. Said, I know. And that healed me. So I get it, Chris. Trust me. I'm talking to you about my journey from thinking God is an angry, vengeful God and was taking it out on me. You know? So all right. So anyway, sorry about that. But anyway, so this is coming, man. Mental health costs in the healthcare system are $51 billion a year. The longevity space is exploding. Excuse me, the psychedelic therapy space. So folks, I am a partner investor in a REIT that is going to save and change lives, man. Right outside of VA hospitals. They brought me on board as like, dude, we need you to help out. I'm like, I would do this in a heartbeat. These beautiful centers, right? These type of places, folks, aren't like a dude in a lab coat with glasses and a white, room. These are going to be beautiful healing centers. MDMA, ketamine. But we're obviously in Oregon and Colorado working on the ibogaine or the psilocybin. But ladies and gentlemen, this is coming. There ain't no stopping this. Big pharma, and when we talk about the psychedelic companies, ladies and gentlemen, they're like a small brokerage firm. Whether it's Cybin, Compass, Atai, MindMed, they're going to get scooped up. They're either going to merge with each other, and then Pfizer, God forbid, this is going. I'm telling you, I've been in this space for 3 years now, 2.5 years now, and I'm telling you everything that's going to happen. I guarantee you, all this stuff is going to happen. So we're putting these right next to VA hospitals and all sorts of stuff like that because this is coming. We are hopefully. I want this next retreat that we're doing for No Fallen Heroes in Costa Rica to be our last one overseas. I think it's a disgrace. When I told the people, 75 Boca Raton business people yesterday about this shit, they were furious. They're like, you got to go to Mexico or Costa Rica to heal veterans that serve this country? I'm like, yeah, welcome to the party. People were pissed. And then I told them about our strategic partner, Justin Lepre, at Heroic Path to Light. Dude was a Marine in Fallujah. Like, no shit, Battle of Fallujah. Blown up, traumatic brain injury, homeless in New York City, went to Wall Street. A guy picked him literally up like Eddie Murphy out of the gutter and gave him a job at a Wall Street bank. He runs a spiritual practice called Heroic Path to Light. If you are using these medicines for a spiritual purpose, it's legal in the United States. How dare you? We fought a war to start this country on religious freedom. And then what did we do? American Indians, you can't use that stuff in your religious ceremonies. It's against the law. Excuse me? We were here first. So we actually had to pass the Religious Freedom Act years ago to like kind of restate what is already in a document. So I'd prefer to not be going to Costa Rica and Mexico or Peru. Yay, we can go and, look around and see the sites if you want to do that shit, but it should be in the United States. I am furious with Ron DeSantis. You're a Navy dude. Ron, if you're listening to this brief, get on it. Governor Abbott in Texas is already beating you. The Dell School of Medicine has a psychedelic arm, and Governor Abbott has given state money. They are doing a psilocybin study, folks, in Texas on Gold Star spouses. Since I know one of the dudes running the study, who shall remain nameless, the initial results will make you cry. I'm not talking like 10% think that they're healed or 20. I'll hold on to that. The results will be out soon. So, a lot of rambling going on right now to explain my commit criteria, why this is the only thing that I'm bullish on right now. We got a war, we got a debt ceiling, we got inflation, we got an absolute shit show this year. This is the place to invest. Ohio State University has a psychedelic program at their medical school. Folks, this is coming. So, again, I rambled way too much. You can build, but before I even start rattling off names, which I will do, write these down. Cybin. Write these down. Cybin. Atai. A-T-A-I. C-Y-B-N. A-T-A-I. MindMed. M-N-M-D. Right? Well, here's what I'm doing is I'm building my own ETF. Or you can go take a look at an ETF that tracks all of these. But I'm going to warn you right now, and I do this every time that we start talking about being bullish on the psychedelic space. You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, buyer beware. The psychedelic space right now as I speak to you is the internet 1999. There's a pets.com, there's a Netscape, there's an Amazon and a Google. You invest in two of the wrong ones, you're broke. You invest in two of the right ones, you're filthy rich. This is the Wild West right now. These are public companies. There are psychedelic public companies. But this space is going to explode. It already is exploding. So instead of kind of trying to figure out, let's go. Psychedelic ETF. I'm in SIL, right? PSIL. Yeah, here it is. So this is not without risk. SIL Holdings. There we go. Take a screenshot right now. Click the little camera icon at the top of your window. I already rattled some of these off. Excuse me. Compass, Cybin, Atai, MindMed, Seal, and Sage. I've heard of those. I haven't heard of these. I've heard of them, but I've met some of these people. I actually was on the phone yesterday at the hangar with the lady who runs Microdose in Miami, the big Microdose convention. I spoke at the Benzinga Psychedelic Capital Conference. I gave a keynote. I showed our trailer. I meet these people. I meet CEOs and shake their hands in this space, folks. It's here, and it's going to explode. So if you're new to Full Throttle or Topgun Options, and you didn't expect to go to a live trade brief and talk about psychedelic medicine, welcome aboard. This space is life-saving. It's life-changing, folks. And you know, one of the reasons I'm really happy I'm in that REIT is because I did some good red teaming, folks, for the past couple months. I'm like, this ain't Starbucks. This is, do not McDonald's this. Because there's a lot of these companies that are doing what? Wait a minute. Wiz went to Mexico and laid on a floor for a weekend and got his ass kicked? No. This is America. A lady's coming in for an hour. That's all she has in her yoga pants. And she'll get a little bit of this. I don't agree with it. And my inputs into the REIT were exactly that. It's not going to be, you know, a Starbucks in Moscow is the same as a Starbucks in Miami. We have got to. I'm actually taking with this REIT the Black Rifle Coffee approach. I went with my brother JT to a couple of the openings. I did a flyover of one of them. I mean, I was coming in for landing at the airport that was near a Black Rifle Coffee that was opening that morning, and I had to avoid some birds, so I went down to low altitude. We're taking the Black Rifle Coffee approach. The Black Rifle outside of Fort Campbell, Kentucky, looks completely different than the Black Rifle outside of Naval Air Station Fort Worth. Why? Because they localize it. The one outside of Fort Campbell has 101st and 82nd Airborne shit all over the place. The one at Fort has Naval Air. It's brilliant. So, folks, you can, and, you know, some of these names, let's get back to options. I do not trade options on stocks that are under $10. They're an option. That's the option, is the stock, right? So I would buy everything I could in this space, comma, and you can lose every penny. Mr. Wonderful is an idiot. I always kind of knew he was an idiot, but now, especially after, I think crypto's awful. Here's $15 million from FTX. I think crypto's great. Mr. Wonderful, to his credit, was down at the conference I was at, and he's like, some of these companies are going to go broke this year. Some of these companies are going to consolidate. Some of these, you know, but he's like, this is the space. Somebody's like, well, what about cannabis? He's like, nope. It's the psychedelic space. So, folks, you can make your own ETF by buying some of these names, or you can buy the damn ETF, PSIL. You could buy 1,000 shares in this name. You could do whatever you know. This is a load the boat. And in our investment clubs, we really need to put this on the flight schedule. We should all jump into one of these on the same instant, buying 1,000 shares each, and you will literally watch the price go up. I'll put that on the schedule to do. I keep meaning to do that. Yeah. Max AB. Maybe I'll do a live trade brief with just a Max AB and the Hunters or something like that. Maybe I'll do that on Fridays now that Bart's moving on the greener pastures. Love my Bart. Okay. So, for what portfolio am I in? I think I'm still in the primary. Oh, yeah, because I wanted to bring up Amazon. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me practice what I preach. What did I tell you on Tuesday? 7, 8, 9. If I'm looking at a 70, 80, 90% profit on the credit I took in, what do? Close it. Tomorrow, Jesus could come back to life and become the CEO of Amazon, and the stock goes up $100, and you could turn an 86% winning trade into a loser. Don't do it. Close. I'll put in 3 cents, and we're out. 85% profit this week. I paid for 5 months of your Hunters membership if you wanted to. I go over here to the Lifetime group, and I drop this in the trades only thread. And I drop it in the Hunters. Yeah, Ryan. Oh, you know what, Ryan? I forgot to talk about that. Yeah, we have a ConocoPhillips Iron Condor going on. But I'm like running at max. I did not mean to go this long. Sorry, I ate up a lot of clock, man. Damn, I had other stuff. Well, you know what? I do have other stuff to cover. It's called Join Full Throttle. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to wrap it up because I gave away so much free stuff this week, profitable trades, great intel, that I'm ready to go to my noon yoga session. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't go to yoga. I listen to my mastermind group, but I go to the noon yoga, and that's what I want to go do because I don't live to trade, man. I live life. I fire a couple trades, and I'm done for the day. I don't sit here for 8 hours a day. I would rather get my teeth drilled. Sniper here, sniper there, trade out a couple. This is not a massive time sump, ladies and gentlemen. There's some time required at the beginning for you to get up to speed and start kind of learning some stuff. But once you get up to speed, man, it's on autopilot. One more time, folks, the best deal, 90, 80% of the folks at Topgun Options are in the annual. You get access to the Hunters Investment Club, and you get the full throttle stuff Tuesday through Thursday and the training. Okay, that's the no-brainer. This is the kind of trial. If you just want access to the briefs and the text alerts and the emails and the training, $295 a month. Amazon trade just closed for $1,800, folks. That's 6 months if you wanted to try the investment club. This is the middle ground, right? You know what, man? I don't know if I'm ready for an annual yet, but I do want to check out the investment club. That's why I made this one in the middle, man. This one is perfect in the middle. This is I want to try for a couple months, but I need access to the investment club too. That's what this one gets you. It gets you full throttle, all the stuff, Tuesday through Thursday, and the investment club. Don't stay. Well, as a businessman, I want you to stay in here forever. Don't. After a couple months, shoot me an email and say, dude, you proved it. As if I didn't in these 4 briefs. If you need more proof, upgrade into the annual and save some money. That's what I'm about. So got an alert that says max pain point for tomorrow's close, 3850 to 3870. Oh God, yeah. Bob, folks, let me close the brief with this. I told you, 38. We're going down to the 100-day moving average. We mapped this out Monday, man. I said fail, 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 fail. I said that was not going to happen. The 100-day is next. We're easily going down to 3850 by tomorrow. Easily. So you got profitable trades in Amazon. You got profitable trades in Goldman Sachs. You got a volatility trade that's looking great right now. I did my job. Gabriel, absolutely not. Good question. I'm glad you asked it. Gabriel's like, so no Amazon bull put spread? Nope. I'm not legging into an Amazon Iron Condor for the week. I'm loving. I mean, look at this. Let's just look at a 3-day chart. What do we say, Gabriel? Don't catch a falling knife. There's a falling knife. I'm not stepping in here and putting on a bull put spread just to do it. I'm enjoying being up 88% in that bear call spread. No bull put spread on Amazon. I think we're going lower into tomorrow. Gabriel, I made a big mistake and put one on yesterday. Nope. Yep. I said no. I said I was not doing that. So we talked about it in the live trade brief yesterday. I'm like, nope, let's talk about it tonight. So last night in the full throttle training, what did I say? It's right at the headline. Amazon Iron Condor training, ? Not yet. I said, let's get into the live trade brief. This is why this works, folks. When we do those nightly trainings, the market's closed. We're shooting the shit for an hour, hour and a half at night training. And then we get into what? We go into the gym the next day. This is our gym. The live trade brief is our gym. And we do what? Demo do. We practically apply. So me, God, no. That was a falling knife. If anything, I'd pound Amazon into the dirt even more. It's going lower. Awesome. Okay. Oh, good. You know what, Gabriel? Congrats, bro. Nice I love the self debriefs. He's like, you did say that. I was over trading. Lesson learned, my brother, right? Barry, no, I already said it. It's not too late to get into the VIX trade. The VIX trade is right here. It's a bull call spread. Let me give you it. Watch the replay from yesterday as I debrief it. It's absolutely not too late to get into the VIX trade. If you believe the VIX is going to keep climbing. I do, but I'm not you. You got to believe that. I believe it. So there's the link to the to the VIX trade, my brother. So, all right, guys, I got to go. We're closing the doors today. 4 free briefs this week. That's enough. I don't charge for 4 free briefs. I could, based on how we do. You made money. You actually made a lot of money this week if you did kind of what I was covering. If you didn't, that's on you. But ladies and gentlemen, now I'm done. There's the replay page. Excuse me. I have 5 minutes to get into my car and go to yoga. Namaste. Folks, this is awesome. I love doing this. I'm very passionate about this, and I love helping people. I love it. It makes me smile. I love getting emails, texts, whatever. Like, dude, I'm doing great. I appreciate it. That makes me smile. Helping people makes me smile. Saving lives makes me more smile. But that's recent. That's two years ago. My life changed, and the rest of my life is going to be focused on that. But this is my also makes me smile. Helping people invest. Nobody cares more about your money than you. Learn how to do it, man. This is not hard. I guarantee it, and I can help you out. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. All right, guys, you bet. Sandra, namaste. Closing the doors today. If you're here, welcome aboard. If not, good luck to you the rest of the year. Or maybe you can check out our Full Throttle next quarter in March or April or something like that. We close the doors, and I go to work, man. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll get the replay posted here after yoga, because yoga is a priority right now. Have a great rest of your day. Awesome Full Throttle week. God bless. Happy hunting. Fights on, and namaste. I'll talk to you guys later.